Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on The Flash Season 3. So before we get into anything, as you know, I've had a new intro for the past couple of videos, and I just wanted to shout out the guy that made it for me. So the name is Frosty, and it did a really good job. I will leave all the links like the Twitter and YouTube linked in the description below. So go check them out. I think they did a really good job, and a lot of you guys have been complimenting the work. And just give them some support. Now, I think it was like just over a week or two ago, we had the episode title revealed for episode 5 of season 3 of The Flash. Along with this title reveal of episode 5, we also had some set pictures from the filming of this episode hit the internet. Now, these pictures don't spoil anything at all, but they do open the door to discuss what might happen throughout the course of this episode. So let's quickly go over a few of these photos from the set of episode 5 of season 3 of The Flash. So we will start with the main picture to reference, in my opinion, and that is of this Central City bus, which has a huge dent in the middle of it after, most likely, something of a considerable size having smashed into it. So whoever or whatever smashed into this bus is pretty damn big. Bigger than a human for sure. Probably around like King Shark size, maybe a tiny bit smaller or maybe a tiny bit bigger, but roughly around that size. Hence the title of this video. But we will go over who or what it could possibly be later on in the video. Now let's move on to some set pictures of the Flash, or Barry Allen, in action. So the majority of these pictures of the Flash involve Barry holding a bunch of rope. I know, it's a bit random. Now he obviously isn't just holding it for fun, like he just decided to play with some rope. He is planning on using it to take down whoever or whatever he is up against. As we can see in the background of the pictures, we can see some people running away looking pretty scared. So whatever Barry is taking on in this episode must be pretty terrifying or intimidating. Here is a torn down banner in the location where Barry is taking on the villain or monster in question. Most likely the banner was taken down by the villain, or possibly he threw something at it to cause it to fall down. Either way, I think the villain is the one that killed this poor old banner, like RIP banner. Now you might be wondering what the hell this is. This is actually the Vancouver Public Library, and this was used as a location when they were shooting this episode. Now, people around the set said there were things set up. They obviously didn't want to, describe it too much in case of spoilers, but it made it out that something was going to be put in the shot through like CGI. They also said at points that extras in the scenes stood still, as they were probably shooting scenes with, where the Flash would be running around. So those people can't be moving in normal speed. They got to be moving in slow motion or just be standing completely still. So with all the set pictures and information for this episode, who could the villain be? Once again, reminding you that the episode is entitled Monster. It is important to remember that this episode is the one that comes after the episode where we are introduced to both Mirror Master and the Top, as well as a return of Captain Cold, most likely in a flashback, and Jessie Quick, who is supposedly in her speedster suit. So it's a pretty big episode, so you would hope that they would have a villain that isn't too easy for Barry to take down, because the Flash can do that. They'll have like a big episode, and then the next episode is something just to, just keep it going, but not massive. It's pretty early in the season, so they might want to try something big just to excite people early on. So let's go over who I think this monster could be that Barry has to try and take down throughout this episode. Firstly, I will mention Gorilla Grodd, as I know people will bring his name up in the comments. We know Gorilla Grodd will appear in a two-parter this season with Gorilla City involved as well. Now this is meant to be happening in the second half of this season, just going by what they've said. Like, they haven't confirmed it, but they've sort of alluded to the fact that it's going to happen in the second half of the season after the mid-season finale. So yeah, I think that's all we can talk about. We'll just leave it there, but I don't think it will be Gorilla Grodd. Next is King Shark, who I referenced earlier, and obviously is in the video title. Now I bring him up as he is a character that's already established that is a monster, and is the size that could produce the damage that we did see in those photos. However, if he was in this episode, you would think Lila and Diggle would appear as well. like we saw last season in the King Shark episode, just due to the fact that he is being held with Argus. Obviously, they could do something with Flashpoint, where maybe the Earth 1 King Shark didn't die. If you didn't know, there actually was an Earth 1 King Shark in the Flash comics that were tied in with the TV show. It isn't referenced on the TV show, I do not think, but they could tie that in somehow and just have a flashback. By the way, off screen they did take down a King Shark, so I don't know, they might do that. Probably not. So I think if King Shark was to return, it would be the Earth 2 version we saw in Season 2. Now let's get on to the last two choices, who are characters we have not seen on the TV show before, and they're not that well known in the... Oh, maybe the last one, the first one, definitely not. So the first one, who you probably have no idea who he is Changeling. Now Changeling is also the name of a hero otherwise known as Beast Boy, who you may know from like Teen Titans and stuff like that. Now the villain called Changeling basically has the same abilities of the hero, which is metamorphosis, which allows him to change into other living things, such as animals. He would be a pretty cool villain, as we could see all the different animals he could change into, as well as how difficult it could be for Barry to take him down, as he is constantly changing shapes and sizes with different animals. Like 1 minute he's a hippo, the next minute he's a little rat or a snake or something like that. And lastly, we have Manfred Motor. Now, Manfred Motor is one of the only few Flash villains described as a monster. In the comics, he has appeared in different forms against all the major Flashes. Like, here's a fun fact, by the way, like, he absolutely hates Jay Garrick. The form we would probably see him in would be him in his final form. And from what I can remember, this is where he's actually like made of like radioactive material. This would all have to be CGI, which is obviously what was linked in the people that were watching this being filmed. And also it could tie into an incident involving the particle accelerator as well. And as I said, he is one of the few described as a monster. This episode is obviously called Monster, so I guess it fits pretty well. But thanks for watching, guys. Leave your opinions in the comment section below. Who do you think the villain for this episode could be? As I said, it does seem like it's going to be a completely CGI character who is being described as a monster. Obviously, they could be flipping it, maybe Barry's the monster, but I don't think that's the case. I think the villain is the monster. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you later, guys, and goodbye.